makes it 57, 22 in Union. An accident eastbound by the Garden State Parkway. That's a 15-minute delay from Springfield Avenue. Outbound Holland Tunnel's at 40 minutes, 10 minutes in from 1 and 9, 30 minutes out over at the Lincoln Tunnel. Trying to get up to the George Washington Bridge. A heavy, very heavy proposition now over on the west side. From about, we'll say, the mid-50s all the way on up, and essentially from the mid-40s all the way up on over the east side. Looks like the Cross Bronx Expressway southbound, an accident at 3rd Avenue. That's why it's a very heavy ride back from before the Bronx River Parkway if you're trying to get to the bridge. Bloomberg 1130, 3-day weather. Tonight, periods of rain, low 40 to 45. Thursday, rain, high 50 to 55. Friday, partly sunny, still maybe a shower, high near 60. And Saturday, sun and clouds, high near 55. Right now, 45 degrees, cloudy skies in New York. Tired of being tracked online? DuckDuckGo can help. They help millions of people like you take control of their personal information online. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. 45 degrees and cloudy. With the best ride in and out of the city, I'm Ed Kalegi, Bloomberg 1130. Bloomberg Business Week continues.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
From Bloomberg World Headquarters, I'm Charlie Pellet, KB Home, reporting earnings per share for the first quarter that missed the average analyst estimate. It was a down day on Wall Street with the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ all declining. Today's move lower follows rallies in 5 of the past 6 sessions. A lot of the selling coming in the final few minutes of trading. Stocks declined. Treasury staged a small recovery from unprecedented losses ahead of tighter monetary policy to curb inflation. Financials led the way lower. S&P down 55, down 1.2%. The Dow down 449, down 1.3%. NASDAQ down 186, a drop there of 1.3%. Again, much of the selling coming in the final few minutes of trading. 10-year yield 2.28%, the 2-year yield 2.09%. Spot gold up 1.3% to $19.47 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude up 5% today, $114.77 a barrel on WTI. Briefly, Kellogg Pop-Tarts brand is launching a Snickerdoodle flavored toaster pastry this May. Yes, it'll be the company's 3rd cookie-inspired toaster pastry, joining the frosted chocolate chip and cookies and cream varieties. Okay. Interestingly, Kellogg shares up today by 0.8% on the day when the rest of the market moves lower. I'm Charlie Pellet. That's a Bloomberg Business Flash.
I gotta say, I did love cinnamon Pop-Tarts, when I was pregnant, and strawberry. Remember, it was the strawberry go-rounds. What were they called? Merry-go-rounds?
I don't even know what those are.
Remember that?
My parents never let me eat these things.
Well, you obviously had better parents than I did. No, I had great parents. All right. So, London, Manhattan, South Florida, long been popular destinations for Russian cash, often in the form of real estate purchases. And we thought we wanted to get a little bit more of a view on kind of what has changed since the Russian invasion and war with Ukraine as a result of that.
Joining us now is Erin Sykes. She's chief economist and licensed real estate salesperson at Nest Seekers International. She joins us via Zoom from Florida. Erin, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Good to have you with us. So let's just, before we get into what's going on with Russians and real estate, I just want you to remind our viewers and listeners right now about Nest Seekers International and what the focus is at the firm.
Sure. We were founded about 20 years ago, right after 9/11, in the heart of downtown Manhattan. And we have a number of offices throughout the Northeast, particularly in the city and also out in the Hamptons. And we have recently expanded to South Florida, Miami, Palm Beach, all of the great vacation locations in Aspen, Colorado, all of the Colorado locations, so many. We've got 30 offices now, so taking over. Plus, we have a large media component in selling the Hamptons and a couple other different shows.
Well, tell us a little bit about the volume of property sales that you've dealt with, for example, or that the firm has dealt with in the last 12 months, which is a great indicator of kind of what's going on in the global economy and just kind of the volume you're seeing.
Sure. So we, as Nest Seekers, are a boutique firm, and we had over $5 billion in sales last year, which is double what we had the year prior. And of course, this is not match up with the larger public companies like Compass and Element. However, for a boutique firm still privately owned, $5 billion in yearly sales is it's incredible. So now what we're seeing throughout the Palm Beach and Miami markets is not any cooling at all. There's still significantly more demand than there are properties available. Still a lot of bidding wars going on, and we haven't really seen any impact from that 1/4 point rate hike because most of our buyers are high net worth.
Yeah, they're not taking out 30-year fixed rate mortgages, right? They're just
No.
cash.
Well,
Exactly.
well, who's buying? Because we do want to get to, in terms of Russian buying. My understanding is, Russian money coming into U.S. real estate, certainly the high end. It's a very small part of some of the markets like Manhattan overall. But tell us about what was the trend and what is the trend today when it comes to Russian buying of especially luxury properties in the U.S.
Yeah, so if you look at Central Park South, we often call it the most expensive safe deposit box because a lot of unstable countries, their large high net worth individuals have purchased Central Park South, Central Park West, Central Park East, and then also down in Sunny Isles, particularly with Russians, and also Palm Beach, places where the value maintains, it's very stable, or you'll see appreciation over the years. Not risky investment for international investors overall. Now, that said, we have seen some uptick in the in market movement in those areas that are highly invested by Russians. However, it's not this, wham bam, slap it up on MLS that most people have been depicting. It's mostly quiet, off-market sales or smaller sales, not the $50 billion apartments that we almost want it to be because that's a better story, right? It's a couple million, $5 million apartments that maybe those investors of Russian nationality are getting a little bit nervous. But frankly, those who have investments, 20, 30, 40, $50 million properties and above, they already long ago moved those into irrevocable trusts, so they cannot be seized. So it's not as cut and dry as, all of Russians are just trying to liquidate all of their assets. That's not exactly what's going on.
It's interesting to hear. Give us some color on what's going on in the Hamptons right now, in addition to what's happening. We've heard so much about South Florida. We've heard a lot about Manhattan and the real estate just rising so much there. What's happening in the Hamptons?
Hamptons has been very stable, and we obviously saw a lot of movement there and a lot of price appreciation over the last couple of years. And what we've seen since about the summer until now is just complete stability. Prices are not shifting up and down. Inventory is still relatively low. There's been a little bit more coming on. People are already locking in those rentals for the summer. So still a very strong market.
Well, that's interesting. Are we at pre-pandemic levels or even above it, potentially?
Well, we're well above pre-pandemic levels in terms of, or in terms of availability, well below, in terms of pricing, well above. So we're still in that, high demand type of situation. In the Hamptons, people have often shifted to residences, which we've all, just been discussing for a couple of years now. So they're sticking it out in the Hamptons. Their kids are in school out there. I think that's the bigger story at this point is how can the Hamptons infrastructure support this new wave of full-time residents that did not leave?
Erin, just really quickly, 15 seconds, the hottest market that you guys are dealing with where there's just incredible demand?
Palm Beach, hands down, there are 10 homes for sale total on the entire island right now, and price per square foot is well above $3,500 average.
A lot of it financial types, just quickly.
Yes, financial types, Goldman Sachs guys moving down to open that new trading office.
All right, we got to run. Erin, thank you so much. Erin Sykes, Chief Economist, licensed real estate salesperson at Nest Seekers International, joining us via Zoom in Palm Beach. All right, you're listening to Bloomberg Business Week. This is Bloomberg Radio.
Join Brian Curtis and Doug Krisner at 6 p.m. Wall Street time for Bloomberg Daybreak Asia. They'll report on President Biden's diplomatic trip to Eastern Europe. That's Daybreak Asia, tonight at 6 on Bloomberg Radio.
As the war war in Ukraine continues.
We zero in on energy as a commodity and as a weapon.
Bloomberg Washington correspondent Joe Matthew brings you the latest headlines every weekday afternoon,
The EU approving new sanctions against Russian oligarchs.
along with analysis from DC's most respected news team.
Vladimir Putin's kind of playing into the narrative of being the bad guy.
Bloomberg Sound On with Joe Matthew. Weekday afternoons at 5 on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
Attention RIAs. Are your clients asking for crypto? At Interactive Brokers, advisors can now offer crypto to their clients, and you can trade stocks, options, futures, currencies, bonds, and more from the same platform. Commissions on crypto are just 12 to 18 basis points with no hidden spreads or markups, and there are no ticket charges, custody fees, minimums, platform, or reporting fees. Learn more at ivkr.com/RIA crypto.
Are you in possession of gold, silver, or platinum? Maybe even some rare coins or old paper money that you'd like to sell? Stack's Bowers Galleries offers top dollar with immediate cash payment and is one of the largest, most trusted and ethical dealers and auctioneers of numismatic items in the U.S. for 90 years. Come visit our location on Park Avenue between 57th and 58th today for a free, no-obligation appraisal of your precious metal bullion items, rare coins, or old paper money. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell your valuable coins or precious metal, we can help. For more information or to speak to a trusted specialist, just call us at 212-582-2580. That's 212-582-2580. We'll help turn your collectibles into a generous cash payment today. Visit us in person or online at stacksbowers.com. That's STACKS Bowers.com. Stop by one of our locations today in New York City, Philadelphia, or Boston coming in 2022.
My leg was painful, red, and swollen just doing the crossword puzzle. I could have put off telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
He told his doctor and found out his leg pain, swelling, and redness are deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to the lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. If you have one or more of these symptoms, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Joe likes to keep things simple, but with a kid in college, a job, side hustle, 401k, 2 mortgages, and a boat he's looking to use a whole lot more this year, Joe's finances are anything but simple. That's why Joe's financial advisor uses InvestNet to connect it all and manage his day-to-day finances while keeping an eye on his family's future. With insight from InvestNet, Joe is living an intelligent financial life. InvestNet, fully vested.
Hey, it's 4:29 on Wall Street. Time for Drive Time Traffic. We do it every 15 minutes right here on Bloomberg Radio. Ed Kalegi, the Whitestone Expressway. What's going on?
It's the southbound Whitestone Expressway. Tim, as you come off the Whitestone Bridge, it's a heavy ride now getting into Queens on the northbound side. Some delays from City Field up to the foot of the bridge itself. An accident cleared on the eastbound belt out by Shell Road. That's a slow ride, though, from Bay Parkway. And an accident finally cleared southbound Van Wyck by Hillside Avenue. Delays from Horace Harding Boulevard. Now in Manhattan, it's a very heavy ride, both sides of town, all the way on up to the bridge. West side to the mid-60s, east side in spots in the mid-40s. Yes, all the way on up to the bridge itself. 40 minutes outbound of the Holland Tunnel 10 in from 1 and 9, 30 minutes out over at the Lincoln Tunnel, outbound upper level of the George Washington Bridge. There's a broken down tractor trailer and it blocks the left lane of the bridge. Once you get over onto the New Jersey side, traveling up into Westchester, now we see the lanes really start to build in on the Hutch from Weaver Street all the way up to just about 287. Bloomberg 11:30 3-day weather. For tonight, periods of rain, low 40 to 45. Thursday, rain, high 50 to 55. Friday, partly sunny, still maybe a shower, high near 60. And Saturday, sun and clouds, high near 55. Right now in Central Park, light rain, temperature 43 degrees. With the best ride in and out of the city, I'm Ymca Bloomberg 11:30. Bloomberg Business Week continues.
Broadcasting live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130. To Washington, D.C., Bloomberg 99.1. To Boston, Bloomberg 1061. To San Francisco, Bloomberg 960. To the country, Sirius XM Channel 119. And around the globe, the Bloomberg Business app and BloombergRadio.com. This is Bloomberg Business Week.
All right, you are listening to Bloomberg Business Week. Carol Master along with Tim Stanovic. We've got a treat, a duo. We're going to talk about their partnership, but I feel like there's a million questions we can go.
Yeah, we're going to be chatting with Don Katz, the founder and CEO of Audibles.com, also the founder of Newark Venture Partners, and Sam Caiucci, the CEO of One Huddle. They're going to be joining us on the phone from Newark, New Jersey. They got some cool stuff that they're working on.
I love Audible. All right, first up, let's get back to your top business stories. A check on the trading day. Here is once again Charlie Powell.
Hi, thank you very much. It was a down day on Wall Street with the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ all declining today. Treasury staged a small recovery from unprecedented losses ahead of tighter monetary policy to curb inflation. Lindsay Piegza is chief economist at Stifel Nicolaus.
The Fed has been very clear that they will do everything they can to rein in out-of-control inflation. So at the very least, the market is looking and saying, well, we may see slower growth, we may see a recessionary scenario, but we're going to avoid stagflation.
Stagflation defined as slow economic growth along with inflation. Down day, as I mentioned, the S&P fell 1.2% today, down 55 points. Dow Industrials down 448, a drop there of 1.3%. NASDAQ down 186. For NASDAQ, that was a drop today of just about 1.3%. This headline from the Bloomberg Professional Service: the U.S. has restored 64% of product exclusions from Trump-China duties. Shares of KB Home falling after hours after earnings, down now by about 4.1%. 10-year yield 2.28%. Gold up 1.2%, 19.45 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude up today by 4.8%, 114.45 a barrel. So again, recapping, equities lower, S&P down 55, a drop of 1.2%. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Thank you so much, Charlie Pellet. Well, Tim and I recently, we've talked about this a bunch at the Bloomberg Live Work Shifting event, had several conversations about what work looks like on the other side of the pandemic, what's normal. It's something we know we are all continuing to redefine. And so in keeping with that, 1 week ago, Audible signing a deal with the workforce tech company One Huddle, giving Audible employees access to the company's offerings and helping with, worker development, helping with training. So it's like all fits into kind of this new world order.
It's something that we talk about each and every week, right? The idea of upskilling and how